I never imagined my marriage would unravel the way it did. In my mind, if anything were ever to tear us apart, it would be something dramatic. Infidelity, financial ruin, or some fight too explosive to mend. But the reality was far quieter, though infinitely sharper. It wasn't betrayal of the body or the bank account. It was betrayal of the tongue, careless, vicious words I was never supposed to hear. Words that cut so deep they shattered everything I thought I knew about my wife and our marriage. It happened on a plain Saturday evening. I had just returned from running errands, the back seat still packed with groceries. As I stepped through the door, I heard laughter coming from the living room. At first, it made me smile. My wife had a couple of her friends over, and I assumed they were swapping stories the way they usually did. But something about the sound made me pause. The laughter wasn't lighthearted. It was biting, sharp, laced with cruelty. Quietly, I set the grocery bags down in the hall and stood just out of sight. That's when I heard it. My wife's voice. "He tries so hard to come off as confident," she said, her words followed by another round of laughter. "But honestly, it's embarrassing. He doesn't even realize how pathetic he looks sometimes." My chest tightened. My mind scrambled for another explanation. Maybe she was talking about someone else. But then one of her friends joined in. "Yeah, I've noticed that too. The way he talks, like he thinks people take him seriously. It's kind of sad." The laughter grew louder, and then my wife twisted the knife even deeper. "Oh, and don't even get me started on how he dresses. I've told him 100 times to try harder, but he just doesn't get it. Sometimes I look at him and wonder how I ended up with someone like that." Her words landed like blows, each sentence heavier than the last. My hands shook, my stomach churned, and all I could hear was the pounding of my heart. This wasn't playful teasing. This was ridicule, cruelty, my wife mocking me, making me the punchline in front of her friends. Something inside me snapped. I stepped into the living room. The laughter died instantly. Their faces drained of color, and my wife's smile vanished the second she saw me. Silence swallowed the room. I looked each of them in the eye before turning to her. My voice trembled, but it was steady enough. "Everyone, get out of my house." They hesitated, frozen in shock. I repeated myself, louder this time, my voice raw with humiliation and fury. "Out! Now!" They scrambled for their bags, scurrying toward the door without a word. As the door closed behind them, my wife turned toward me, her face pale, her hands shaking. "Wait, listen," she whispered, her voice desperate. "It's not what you think. We were just joking. I didn't mean it." But there was no undoing what I'd heard. I stared at her, my voice cracking but firm. "Pack your things. Tomorrow we're getting a divorce." Her eyes filled with tears. She reached out, but I pulled away. I didn't want excuses. Those words couldn't be unsaid. They had revealed the truth, how she really saw me. That night blurred into begging and apologies I couldn't absorb. The only thing I could hear, over and over, were her words. Pathetic, embarrassing. How did I end up with him? By morning, she had packed a bag. The silence between us was suffocating. She whispered endless apologies, but all I felt was emptiness. The hollow ache of realizing the person I thought would always respect me never truly did. On Monday, I filed for divorce. She tried to argue, called me dramatic, insisted I was overreacting to a misunderstanding. But there was no misunderstanding. I had heard the truth straight from her lips. Looking back now, I see that moment wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the end itself, revealed out loud. Because if your partner can mock you, belittle you, and laugh at you behind your back, the love you thought you had was never real. Walking away was the hardest choice of my life, but it was also the clearest. I would rather stand alone than share a life with someone who saw me as nothing more than a joke. And so, my marriage didn't collapse from infidelity or lies. It fell apart from something just as destructive, if not worse, disrespect.